I promised you a very special guest in this episode of Karta Tatter. So let me introduce to you Shailaja Bajpai, who I'm sure many of you know from her speaking, her teaching, and also from her writings. Shailaja Bajpai, my colleague, fellow traveler, and friend of many decades, is now also, besides being the reader's editor at The Print, she calls us out when we do something wrong. Plus, she's the one who reads your complaints and comments and alerts us to them and also responds to you in her column, her monthly column from the reader's editor. She is now also the dean of the Print School of Journalism, TPSJ. See the logo. The Print School of Journalism is now admitting students for its third batch. The teaching for the second batch is on. So graduates of the first batch are already out. You can see the picture. These are the many from the first batch who were able to come to Delhi to collect their diplomas or certificates physically. All the others got them by courier, and now teaching for the second batch is on, and this will conclude by mid-February. So at this point, Shailaja and her team are admitting students for the third batch, and there the last date is somewhere in January?
Yes, early January.
Yeah. So Shailaja, tell us more about the school. It's a venture that you've set up.
Yes.
What do you think about it? What's been the experience and what is the school like?
Thank you, Shekhar, and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So what's the idea behind the Print School of Journalism? As Shekhar and I have discussed, what we believed was that we should have a school that will foster good journalism, promote good journalism. And so here we're going to try, and we are already trying to share the values and principles of good journalism that we hope a whole new generation of aspiring journalists will learn from us and take the road forward in journalism. You might ask, and quite rightly, what makes us different from other schools? Well, I think it's very clear for us that we believe that the newsroom is the best classroom. And by that logic, the best teachers are experienced journalists. So when you look at the Print School of Journalism and when you go to our site, do go and you will find that the entire faculty consists of highly experienced journalists, right? This is not an academic exercise for us. We want to share with you all that they have learned on the ground as practicing journalists. And mind you, I think what's important here is that they are still practicing journalists. They're all working at the Print in one capacity or another. That's what makes them so special. And that is what will make what we are passing on to them special, right? Because everything is based on their experience. The skills and the knowledge they will hopefully impart to any of you who care to join us is based on everything that they do every day, right? They get up and do that every day. And those are the skills that we hope we can share with all of you.
And we do it online. We do it online over the weekends.
That's the other thing that I think makes us special, because we believe that the newsroom is the best classroom. How do we do that? One of the things is we keep this contract compact, right? So it's only on the weekend classes, live and interactive. And there's a reason to keep them live and interactive, because from day one, that means that you and the students get to ask questions, to meet those editors, and also to meet some very special experts that we also bring on each weekend for you to meet.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, so I was just going to explain how that widens the exposure we are able to give them in a way that I don't think others are able to do, because the kind of people we can bring on as experts are people that these people in the newsroom can easily access, which is not always possible at an academic level.
So one observation I will share with you, that's because because you put the gun on my head.
Yes.
I've also come and spoken to these classes, to each batch for a couple of hours for each batch. It's the attendance. This is, I never imagined these classes, any classes having almost 100% attendance.
That's true.
And so much engagement and so much interactivity. Even when one is speaking, I see those points running across non-stop.
Right.
And sometimes there are things that I've said that I'm not quite sure I know.
And they remind you of it.
And they remind you of it, or somebody says,
oh,
this is like this, or they correct. So these are very smart people.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more, or tell the viewers also a little bit more about these teachers, these faculty who've been teaching here.
So, what can I say to you? They're the best and the brightest in a sense. They're all working at the print. And, the kind of journalism they're practicing at the print is what they will give you. So we have our senior editors like Rama Lakshmi, opinion editor and editor ground reports, DK Singh, editor politics, Nishit, operations, news operations, Janki, Dave, in charge of the video team. These are all, and there are many more, Sharad Raghavan on economics, I mean, it's an absolute delight to attend his classes, Shekhar. I don't know anything about economics, and I can tell you I learned a great deal. Because the thing is, and this is important for you all to understand, because they're journalists, they know that the most important thing that they have to do is to communicate simply and well, because the audience could be so wide-ranging, right?
And also the photo editor that we have.
Yes, Praveen Jain, I think India's certainly best photojournalist is now out there also with a whole new course that he does. So the course is divided into 7 little capsules. The first one is obviously a very big part of the course is obviously based on the fundamental skills of journalism, which are taken by the senior journalists like Rama Lakshmi, like Nishit Upadhyay, like Janki Dave, and I'll also be there. And that's when we rope in Shekhar also, because no one, can tell you more about his experiences than he can. And then we have 6 other specialized capsules, because we want to open this up to you as much as possible. You may not only want to acquire the skills, you may want to know how to report on legal journalism. National security, a huge interest amongst our readers, right? And again, as Shekhar said, very knowledgeable people have joined our courses, right? And, they are so engaged with these things that they can't wait. I'm being asked, when will Praveen Swami come on? When is Snehesh Alex Phillips' class, right? So we have strategic affairs, we have economics, and we have another one, which is my personal favorite, because I'm so interested in health and science. And of course, how can I forget politics to round everything off? So,
and there we have the Dada himself, DK Singh.
DK Singh, I think you may have seen him on Politically Correct, which is of course very politically incorrect, but never mind, we're not meant to say that. But he is, he's just so full of anecdotes. That's the other thing, Shekhar. I think that's working with all of them, is that these journalists come and they talk to you about their anecdotal evidence. Now that's very important, because they won't only teach you how to find a story, write a story, source information, verify information, and write a story, but they will give you anecdotal information in a sense that you will get inside their heads or into their skin and take that journey through a story with them.
Shailaja, what you call anecdotal, we reporters call that lived experiences.
I see, okay. All right. So you can
see stories from lived experiences. Also, we have a lot of outside experts. These are mostly people who are involved with us as columnists or panelists, but also some who just do it for love.
We've had like General Naravne has been very generous with his time. The Delhi commissioner, police commissioner, I beg your pardon, came. And that was, I wasn't expecting that. That was a real surprise when we got him. We've had Yogendra Yadav come to us. We've had, this time we're going to have Gagandeep Khan, Dr. Gagandeep Khan come to us. So yes, we try and get real good, high quality experts for you in every field so that they can share their knowledge, which is as important in some ways for you to know as what these journalists report.
And now we also have in our in-house mix Dr. Swasti Rao.
Well, yes, this is a great joy for you who maybe join us in the 3rd cohort, where Dr. Swasti Rao will be part of that security team. I have yet to discuss with her, but I hope she'll do a whole capsule almost by herself. We'll try and work on that. And I also wanted to expand the photography and visual arts one. So we are looking forward to doing some of that too.
So as we are talking, you might be also seeing a lot of visuals running on your screen. Many of these are students in class. Some of these are students now serving out their internship period.
Shekhar, I should explain that to them. So, as a part of our belief in the newsroom is the classroom, we are also offering internships
as part of this course. And you know what? My own understanding is, I went to a journalism school for a year. In the course of time, journalism schools have become 2 years now.
Yeah,
2 year
3,
diploma,
4
2 year
years
degree,
now.
4 years
4-year
now.
BA
Right?
graduates.
That's too
Yeah.
much time spent learning the theory of journalism. You can learn the theory and the basics of journalism very quickly, even in the course of a sharp 3-month regimen that Shailaja has designed. You don't need to spend more time and, frankly, a lot more money. You can imagine how much money does it cost to go to a university to do a 1 year journalism course, and now 2 years,
Yes.
and doing undergrad for 3 years,
Well,
and then
up to 4
postgrad for
now.
2 years.
Yeah.
If you do that, frankly, I would say this is too much time spent studying journalism. Because once you learn the basics, then the rest you learn in the newsroom.
Yes, absolutely.
And what better way of learning the basics than from those who are actually living out their lives from very lively newsrooms? Because almost anybody who's now an editor at The Print has loads of experience.
At least a decade, and many have much more.
And since we are only 7 years old,
That's right.
you can presume that they've all worked in other
Yes.
newsrooms and made a name for themselves.
Yes.
So once again, it's a suggestion from me. If you want to learn journalism, you don't have to spend so much money and so much time and take time off from whatever you're doing. You can learn it while you keep doing whatever you are doing. And the teachers are there and the dean is in front of you. So you will see all the links on our screen and also with the description of this video. You can go there and enroll. It's a little bit competitive because we take the best students, but I'm sure each one of you is the best. So please go ahead. You will love it.
Thank you, and I hope to see some of you there. Bye-bye.